Hello everyone and welcome to my channel. Thank you so much for stopping by and for taking your time to check out my content today. Today I'm going to be telling you a little story about why I chose real estate. Real estate is something that is a profession that's been in my family for 2 generations, right? And obviously growing up, I got to see and witness my dad do it on a daily basis, and the whole profession just seemed really exciting. He had a lot of times that he would just go out for meetings, and I would just be curious, and whenever we go to his office and just see how he worked and how things went and how he had to go to sites and go visit a development that they were working on. It was just pretty exciting, so that was where the passion came from. And pretty much as I grew older, I just wanted to be in the profession, even if it wasn't any what's the word? Any capability? Pretty much I wanted to do it. So I thought about, economics, and then I didn't like math. So I was like, okay, no to that. Then I was trying to figure out what exactly I could do. And then when I did my research, people were saying that I had to, be good at math and TD. So TD is technical drawing, and also physics. For some weird reason, I don't know why physics was in the equation, but when I heard all of those things, I was just like, yeah, no, I guess I'm gonna look for something else and a different way to get into real estate. So then I was like, okay, I could just study law and become a lawyer and work in a real estate firm. Back then I thought it was a firm, but they're pretty much called brokerages. Brokerage. A real estate brokerage is the one that represents the seller or the buyer. So I was like, okay, I'll do that instead and just find my way in the field. But then when I moved to Canada and I went through law during my undergrad, I was studying to take my LSAT, and throughout that process I figured I feel like I forgot a little bit about real estate. That was pretty much just because I was focused on going to law school, and then I was trying to figure out what kind of lawyer I would actually become, because I wasn't even so sure real estate law was like a very good profession for my law degree. So I was still studying for my exams, and then my boyfriend would mention real estate. He mentioned real estate one time to me, and then I was like, yeah, no, especially also because I was scared, if I did it and then I didn't really do well in it, then that would kind of be disappointing to my dad. He didn't even express that he wanted me to do real estate or anything, but I just heard stories about how people went into the same professions as their parents and then just flopped or messed up in it and didn't ended up disappointing their parents. So I was like, okay, I don't want to do that. I don't want to be an agent. I don't want to have anything to do with it. I didn't really pay too much attention to it here in Canada. But then time went by, and then he told me about his mentor, his auntie that was in the field. And he was like, just talk to her and then let's see, just to know what it's about, right? Because he was also getting interested in it. So I was like, okay, sure, why not, right? I'll talk and then we'll see how it goes. So I had to talk with her, and then she told me the good, the bad, the ugly, the great about the profession. And I was like, okay, that's interesting, Excuse me, please. It didn't seem as scary as I thought it would be here in Canada. So I studied, I looked it up online, and then I tried to see all the different resources that I had and the different opportunities that I had with being a real estate agent here in Canada. So I was looking everything up and studying it, and then right then the real estate school was closing up. Around that time, I think it was in April, they were going to close the school in April. They were going to stop admissions in April. So I just immediately, had to decide, if I wanted to take the exam or not, because at that time I didn't know what was, what the new method of taking the exam would be or would look like. So I was just like, yeah, I don't want to find out, so let me book my exam. I booked my exam, and then when I booked my exam, Toyin also mentioned that, actually before I booked it, when I was still thinking about it, he was just from, us talking about it and seeing, if that career was a good one to venture into. He was also like, he was pretty interested in the field, and he wanted to also go into real estate. So he was like, if you take it, I'll take it as well. So we'll both do it together, we'll learn it together. If you have problems or anything, I'll be there to help as well. So that was kind of like an encouraging nod into, helping me make my decision. So I was like, okay, if I do it and I don't like it, at least I know that I tried and I don't feel as bad, if I didn't end up doing it and I started having regrets. So I decided to do it, and I booked my exam right before the deadline. And immediately at that time I was working full-time at a retail store, and I was always working late or working pretty early, because as a manager you would have to go in early to open up the store, or even like finish late and close up the store. So I was always either early or late, like going to bed late or waking up pretty early. So around that time, if I woke up early, I would have to study once I got back home, or if I was going to be closing, I'll just have to study early, and then also study during like the weekends, stuff like that, because you were basically working on your own pace, like studying for the exam. The exam took about, and the way the exam was, it was span out in 5 sections, 5 exams. So one course for one exam. There was an exam that had 2 courses in it. So I had to study 2 different courses, finished one, studied another course, and then now wrote the exam for the 2 courses. So it was pretty much a little bit hectic, but it was so much better because myself and Toyin did it together. So if someone had issues with something, one person would ask the other, and then because I wasn't too good at math, so Toyin would come down, because at that time I was in Ottawa and then he was in Toronto, so he would come down and teach me some stuff right before my exam. Like if he booked his exam before before coming down, I'll book mine like later, especially when I had to do there was an exam that had a lot of math in it. So he would come down early and try to prep me for it and teach me all the math equations that I wasn't getting right. And then so we did that up until December. I think in December I was at that point I was exhausted, because I was just like, yeah, I think I'm gonna push this next exam to January. I mean, why am I really rushing, right? But then I went to Toronto. He took his exam, and then he told me it wasn't too hard, it wasn't bad, blah blah blah. So I was just like, okay, cool, because at that time I'd not even booked my next exam. So when I got back to Ottawa, and then I was just like, it just felt good. Seeing him feel good, for not having any exams left to write, just made me feel like, bam, okay, you need to do your exam right now and just get it off your chest, so that by Christmas you're not thinking, oh my gosh, I have to study, and just get everything done. And at that time I was no longer working, so I was just like, okay, there's nothing I'm pretty much doing. I'm just gonna be watching TV or doing one thing or the other. Let me just double down on this and finish this exam and know that I'm done. So that's what I did. And then I was able to enjoy my Christmas, and my mom came over after Christmas, so I was able to have a good time with my mom and my sister and everyone. It was just very, very nice. And then right when we finished our exams, we had 5 exams, right? So 5 exams, and then after your exams you can now register to get your license, you can now get registered to become a licensed real estate agent. So when we finished that, we also had to figure out brokerages, because right after you finish your exams and you register to get licensed, you have to register with a brokerage, right? So your brokerage will have to register you to get licensed. So that was now another thing that we had to look for. But during our exams, I'll give you in another video I'll explain the whole process of like, you know, getting your license and what you should look out for and the timelines, and also and also what you should look out for when you're trying to choose a brokerage. But for this video, I'm just going to just, you know, run through my experience. I pretty much was able to interview a brokerage. I interviewed like 2 brokerages, and then I decided which one I wanted to join after the interview. And then, so both of us pretty much joined the same brokerage because, you know, it was here in Toronto, and moving here just seemed like it would be a great option, just because, you know, my sister's here, he's here. The Toronto's market just seemed much better seemed more better, and seemed like it had more options and more opportunities for me than the Ottawa market. And that was why I made my decision and just moved down. And ever since I moved down, it's been really great. Like, I thought Toronto was going to be a whole like jungle of vicious drivers, vicious everything, right? But like when COVID just happened, it just kind of slowed things down, and then I got used to everything here. So I say I'm happy with the move so far, so that's good. What else? What prompted me to get into real estate? I would just run down through everything again. So family, you know, growing up in like with the profession pretty much, right? That really helped me, you know, being intrigued by my dad's passion and my dad's job really ignited something in me that made me just, you know, love, you know, homes, right? I would, even though I was not going to a lot of homes when I was younger, like, you know, my parents would not let me go out that much or let me go to like, you know, visit my friends and all this stuff, right? But like, even with that, you know, whenever I would go out and go to people's homes, I just loved, you know, exploring their homes, right? Like, and I'll just like, you know, imagine, I don't know if it sounds weird, but just imagine, you know, having something like that, right? And, you know, finding out, like, for example, one time my dad took us to one of his friends' place, and like in the house, there were like these, like, I think there were like 2 hills, and we like raced through like one of them, and then to get to the pool house, you had to go through one of the hills. And I'll just like be amazed by, you know, the architecture that went into, you know, building that kind of space, because from the outside you couldn't really see all of that, right? And you couldn't really tell what was in it because the house just looked like a bungalow. But then like when you actually went in, you'd see that there's so much more to it. So that made me, you know, fascinated by homes, right? And even in that same house, there was like a pond area that you had to like go over like this little bridge. It was such a cute house, right? And that just, you know, made me feel like, yo, there's so much to houses. Like, you can do anything in your house. You can do pretty much anything, right? And now as an agent, and when I get to like, you know, explore different homes and like show homes to clients, it's just really, really nice to see how they react to all these different and little things that you see, right? It's very, very cool. And if you like to book a showing and, you know, check out like, you know, a specific type of house, or if you're looking to buy or sell, you know, just let me know. And then, you know, I can take you, if you're looking to buy, let me know, and then I can take you on a tour around what your spec really is. And it's pretty much, it's interesting, it's really, really fun, and I'm sure you would enjoy it, you know. What else? Yeah, my experience. Okay, so my experience with real estate when I kind of got out of school, well, undergrad, was that when I was looking, because throughout my undergrad, I was living on campus throughout, right? And so when I finished school, I had to look for a place with my friend. So throughout the whole home searching process, we had to like turn down different places because, you know, one place had this, one place didn't have this. It was just really, really like all over the place, right? And when I say all over the place, I'm talking about, you know, we tried different things. Like, we looked at different places, we couldn't really find what we wanted, right? And we were just doing like basic search, like, you know, 2 bedrooms, and everything was just very, very like hectic. Also because we had both started working, so, you know, one person would have time to go view this one person wouldn't have time, and then maybe, you know, we don't like this one, or one person likes this but the other person, you know, just things like that, right? And I felt like if I had an agent, then it could have been easier, because then the agent would know the area, would know what to look out for, what we would both like and not like, so not send us some listings, because then we wouldn't have to like check out some spots, right? They would already filter everything for us. So I felt like me going through that process made me feel like I wouldn't want anyone else to go through that if they don't really need to. So being there to help someone throughout the home buying process, or even selling your home, or even renting, is something that I really enjoy, because I at the end of the day, I'm looking to just get that satisfaction from you. I want you to love your home. I want you to see it and be like, I'm so glad I chose you. I'm so glad you helped us find this place. That is the rewarding part of this whole business. Yes, you get paid by the seller if you're the buying agent, and also even if you're the selling agent, you get paid by the seller or the landlord. But it's that client's smile, that client's review that really does it for you, because even with that, you get satisfied because that you did a good job, and even further down the line, you could even get a referral from them as well. So that's always good, right? So yeah, my experience, and then I'll say the last thing that I'll mention, just so this video stays short, is my personality. Like, I know that if anyone knows me, if you're watching this and you know me, you know that I'm someone that could be introverted, so that I could be an introvert, right? Pretty shy, I giggle and laugh at almost everything. So weird, but that's me, right? But with real estate, I've been able to stand out of my comfort zone, or pretty much step out, right? And it's been good, because it's helping me to face that fear that I had about facing people and speaking to people, even people that I don't know, right? Before now, I would not be comfortable with talking to someone that I've not even met, if I have not known you for like a couple of months, or not months, but if I don't know you, then I wouldn't really speak to you. But now with real estate, I'm able to, I don't even know some people half of the time, and then someone would message me or call me, and I'm already like open. I'm already like, hi, how can I help you? How are you doing? What's going on? What would you like? I'm already like really like invested in the person, even if the person just spoke to me once. Like, if you're always reaching out to people and showing that you care, it helps you remain top of mind, right? And that's always good, not only for business but also for relationships, right? So that's a tip for you if you're watching. Stay top of mind with your friends, family, and even clients. All right, guys, so that is pretty much all that I have for you for today. I hope this video was good, and I hope that you liked it and enjoyed it. If you do, or if you did, which of the above, please like it, share it, and subscribe to my channel to see more videos from me and see whatever I have coming up soon. I'm going to be releasing another video explaining what to look out for when you're even starting out as a real estate agent. Because when I first started out, I was searching to see if there were any videos out there of someone that was new to the field, just to see if there were any advice, if there was any advice that I could take right when I was trying to like decide what I wanted to do. So I think if anyone is out there that's thinking about real estate and going into it, don't be scared. You have people that are also just like you here, and I'm one of them. I was one of them right before I started. And you can also learn from me. I would also share like mistakes, things not to do, things to do, things like that. Okay? All right, guys, thank you so much for tuning in again, and see you in the next one. Bye.